Well, organ donation and opting in and opting out is what we're talking about here today with Martin Perkins, who's taking this one through Tynwald at some point. I mean, the consultation is still ongoing. You're coming here today because I think it's halfway through the sort of planned consultation. So how's it been going so far?
Well, it's more than halfway through, Paul. We've only got another 2 weeks to go, and I really want to try and raise the profile to get people to come and answer the consultation. It's not a foregone conclusion that we're going to change the law, and that's the whole reason for the consultation. And in particular, there's one question that we're asking: should the consent be from a 16-year-old or 18-year-old? And I would ask school teachers to have a look at that, have a chat with your students, and obviously it's vitally important to them as well as everybody else. But if we can get their views in it, that would be great.
So what is it, 16 or 18 in the Isle of Man? When are you legally an adult?
Well, you can vote at 16,
and
that's the question. And that's what the consultation is about in many ways.
Okay. Let's just go where we are at the minute. We're following the UK at the minute, which is you have to opt in.
That's correct.
But they're busy, haven't they? Wales and things, they've changed it? And that
yeah, Wales has changed it, Scotland is going to change it, and the UK is at a consultation stage as well. And that doesn't mean to say we're going to blindly follow suit, but we want to look at it, and the whole aim of the game is to make sure there's more organs available for transplantation.
Okay, so the consultation's got 2 weeks to go. What sort of response rate have you had so far then?
Very good. We've had 250 people, various responses, a couple of written submissions, and also I should say, if you're not on access to the internet, write to the Cabinet Office or give the Cabinet Office a call, and they will send you a hard copy which you can fill out and send back, and that will be taken into consideration.
Are the churches getting involved? Is religion got involved in this one, like abortion sort of thing?
Not really, no. It's mainly people on the street, and a whole variety. I mean, I won't go into the views that are becoming prevalent because I don't want to alter the view, the outcome of the consultation. But a whole variety of views. Yeah.
So the consultation says A or B, whatever. You will then be guided by that consultation, or are you determined still to change it anyway? Because I mean, the UK, as you say, Wales going, Scotland, whatever, it's moving now. So it's a consultation worth it in that sense?
You don't actually have to consult on a private member's bill in the Isle of Man, which I didn't realise before this at the outset. But I want to consult because it's not a foregone conclusion.
But you want to change it, don't you?
I want to make sure there's more organs available for transplant.
And that means changing the law, sure?
Not necessarily.
Because there's not enough coming through.
There's certain things you can do, bigger publicity, encourage, well, like we've done just now, encourage students to talk to their parents and family discussion and raise the profile without changing the law. But if it does need a tweak in the law, the new law would actually generate 3 options. One, you completely opt out, which is there, you know, that's not a problem. That's your respected wishes. One, you can completely opt in, and one of the questions is, if you've opted in, should your relatives be even asked? Because your wishes are you've opted in. And then this is the group that people have not opted in or not opted out. And at the moment, the relatives are put in a very awkward position. Do you allow your relatives' organs to be used for somebody else? Now, in many ways, opting out clarifies the situation, because if you haven't made a decision, the government will say the medical teams can take your organs to help somebody else. But the people that donate organs say they get a lot of comfort out of it being asked to donate. And I don't want to take that comfort factor away from them. So they would probably still be asked. I'm not sure. Again, it's a question in a consultation.
Well, we've been doing this whole thing about the death and bereavement and this special week that's coming up, and we mentioned the other day because people making wills and that sort of thing,
yep,
and telling their relatives what they want. And again, this could be helped along, can't it? Forgetting about the opt-in and opt-out. If you tell your relatives, I'm very happy for my organs to be given, that helps them to make that call as well, doesn't it?
It does, and it makes life so much easier for everybody. Your wishes are respected, and if you do tell them you wish your organs to go, they're no good to you, so you might as well do that. But the other thing is, some of the relatives, when they're being traumatized, and it's the worst possible family time, they, as a knee-jerk reaction, they say, I don't want my relatives' organs to be used. And then afterwards, down the line, many of them say, do you know, I really wish I had let them go for organ donation.
I mean, there's a lot of complications. Even in will today, it says yes, and the relatives can still override, I'm guessing, and say no.
Yeah.
Okay. Will this be a simple thing with your driving licence? They'll know the information. You know, here in the Isle of Man, a Manx driving licence will, if you do change the law, it says what you want.
That's a really good point, because at the moment, people aren't aware that if you tick the box on your driving licence,
which is there, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere at the moment. Now, Minister Harmer is looking at that to get it linked into the UK.
It's on the Isle of Man it works, but it wouldn't work in the UK or nowhere?
Nowhere. Where does it go? I mean, I've asked the question. So that is being rectified anyway.
Yeah.
But what I would say is if you're in doubt whether you are registered, check with the organ donor register in the UK, and it's organdonationsnhs.uk. Have a look and see if your name's on there.
As simple as that, you can actually...
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. And you can change your mind. If at one point you decide I don't want to be an organ donor, you can take your name off.
Any particular cases you know of then that people have missed out on things because there's been a shortage? I mean, here in the Isle of Man, do we just rely on the UK? And does our stuff go into the UK pool? I mean, is that how it's treated?
Yeah, our stuff goes to the UK, and again, the aim of the game is to raise our profile as doning, and hopefully that will get our recipients more recognised. And I've got a young lady in Garth who's had a heart transplant. Daphne Kane and I had a surgery last weekend, and a chap came in and said, I've had a cornea transplant, and there's a lot of encouragement behind it.
And the thing is, actually, you never know who gets anything, do you? I mean, it's all kept totally anonymous.
Well, and again, that's not in the consultation, but people do, and I don't know if you saw the programme on TV the other evening. They do like to know that the
I've seen this reuniting. This is fantastic if you want to do that. Okay, well, we'll put up there's a website on the screen which is for the consultation on your site, the government one, and then you say there's hard copies available.
Yep.
And in a couple of weeks' time, you finish that. What's the timetable for you actually getting on your feet and starting this ball rolling officially?
Well, we'll analyse the responses, and if it is deemed that we do go ahead with it, the response will probably take about somewhere around 10 weeks usually to get everything sort of sorted out, and there'll be consultation also with the British Medical Council. I'm in consultation with them at the moment, but if we do change things, there'll be a code of practice, there'll be other things behind the scenes that have to be done, and we have to make sure the government is ready for the new process. Again, if it goes ahead, and then it will go to Tynwald.
And then you're interested in other things like assisted dying, like Guernsey's doing at the minute, or is that just too much to think about this time?
Yeah, it's too much at the moment, Paul. When you look at the social legislation we've had up till now on this administration, we've had the Equality Bill, massive amount of legislation in that. We've had Dr. Allinson's abortion bill, again a massive undertaking on him, and generating worldwide interest, of course. And he's brought that up to the Council of Ministers now. The
Legislative Council.
Legislative Council, yeah, get it right. And again, that is going through, and hopefully if this comes up, that we can get that through. So yeah, there's a lot of legislation going on, and with a bit of luck, if we can get it through before Brexit, that would be good. But as I say, it's not a foregone conclusion.